Hi and welcome to episode 82 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This is Reportage and This is Reportage family, and I'm a photographer too. I really love talking to the fab Patrick Mateer of M&G Wedding Photography this week. Patrick is one of the UK's best documentary wedding photographers and was ranked joint 49th in the world on TIR for 2020. He's amassed more awards since then too, and currently has 11 Reportage Awards and 2 Story Awards to his name, an incredible achievement. Patrick shares so much in this episode, including the forming of his studio and shooting alongside his wife, the very talented Hollie Rosa Mateer, how and why his approach to shooting has evolved, being in a band, a Netflix synopsis game, the story behind his Cigarettes Alcohol Reportage Award, top tips for improving your documentary work, football, community, why he personally enters awards, and so much more too. Hey Patrick, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Alan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. All good, all good. What's the weather like with you at the moment? Because are you up in Yorkshire? Are you up in Yorkshire?
I am, yeah, and in sunny East Yorkshire, but today it is not sunny. The rain is drizzling down, just hitting the window panes lightly. I'm painting quite an evocative scene of Yorkshire here.
That's a very romantic, description of rain, man.
yeah, it's but yeah, I'm in the right place. I'm inside, so yeah, it's all fine.
That's good. And I have to report, it's very sunny and lovely down here in Cornwall today.
Well, I'm sure it is every day in Cornwall. Isn't it?
I know, it really isn't. But this week has been really nice, actually. Yeah, it's been really nice.
Oh.
So you're up in Yorkshire. I went to university in Yorkshire.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, went to Bretton Hall on Yorkshire Sculpture Park.
Oh, fantastic. What did you study?
English and drama, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you get your theatrical side on these podcasts, obviously.
Do you think there's a theatrical side?
I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah. But so yeah, I went to university in Yorkshire too. But
cool. Where'd you go?
In Sheffield, studied fine art. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, man.
And how did you find life in Yorkshire?
Oh, yeah, nice one. I had a great few years. It's fab up there. Are you from up there originally, or?
Yeah. Born and bred in East Yorkshire, and pretty much only lived in Yorkshire in various cities like Leeds, Sheffield, and now just outside Hull in East Yorkshire. Okay. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a lovely place. It's really friendly people. It's really, really cool. I went to Sheffield a few times because we used to watch Birmingham City play the Sheffield teams when I was at uni. So I support Birmingham City. That's a whole other subject. What about you? Are you into football?
I am, yeah. This could be a matter of contention. I'm a Wolves fan.
Oh, what? How? Why are you a Wolves fan?
I know. How dare I be a Wolves fan living in Yorkshire? But yeah, my dad is a Wolves fan.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's all his fault. So
you have like Midlands roots then, or something?
No. It gets more confusing. He's from Belfast. But they Wolves were sort of the Manchester United of their day when he was growing up. So they were like the big team, and they came over and played his local team, Glentoran, and they were like kind of pioneers in Europe. So
really? Gosh, I didn't know that actually. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you sure this is a real history and not some alternate dimension?
No. It's pretty much all Wolves fans have to cling to is the history. So it is real. But no, we've been doing all right recently actually. But yes, Wolves fan used to be a season ticket holder back in the day.
Oh wow.
But yeah, before.
I bet you've been to St Andrews then a few times.
No, I haven't actually. I've never been to a derby away from Wolves. I tended to just go to home games, really. The odd away game up here, but yeah, when I became a wedding photographer, obviously working at weekends meant a season ticket was a bit useless, so I stopped going.
That's true. That would be a bit of a waste of money, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the game tonight? Because we're recording this on the 18th of June, and tonight is the England-Scotland Euro game. You looking forward to that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Can't wait. It should be good. It's a bit of a strange Euros, isn't it? With it being in all different kinds of countries.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying that though.
Are you? Yeah, it's very different, and like every game's a home game for someone, isn't it? So I guess the atmosphere is pretty good. But yeah, it's always good, isn't it? It brings back memories of of Euro '96.
Oh, yes, I remember that well as well. What's your score prediction for tonight then?
I think England should win. They've got much the better team. Sorry to any Scottish listeners, but yeah. So I think they'll win 2-0 maybe. I think.
Good one. Yeah, cool. Okay, well that's good. So people will be able to hold you to, because this is going to come out this after the game, so we'll be able to see how you've done, Patrick. That's cool.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. I don't know how reliable a score predictor I am. What about you? Do you think we'll win?
I think we will. I'm going to go for 3-1. That's
okay. Well, we're both gone for a win, so we'll see if we're right.
Yeah, I hope we are. I'm going to let my kids stay up and watch it tonight as well. They're excited about that. So
that's cool. That's really
but let's go off football in case we've really turned off people. So, Patrick, let's get right to it. How was, got to talk about it. How was 2020 for you, and indeed, the past 15 months? How has it been for you?
It was a little bit quiet. I'm not sure why, but no, it was because of COVID. It was not many weddings, and
how many did you shoot in 2020?
I mean, I'm saying that I probably shot more than a lot of people, which I should feel lucky about. I think I shot last year after the pandemic, like 6 or 7 micro weddings. So yeah, okay. Pretty busy, I think, compared to some people I know, and. So yeah, I should feel lucky about that, and I do feel lucky that so many couples decided to go ahead, and they were all fantastic days, just very different. But yeah, I mean, it was. No one's got out of this lightly, have they? Every industry, every family has found it tough, and so of course it has been tough, but the business has carried on going. I've still managed to shoot some weddings. I've had a lot more time at home with my young son, who's 2 years old. So both me and Hollie have been at home with him. So it's definitely had its positives, but obviously, the business was a little bit stuck. And also, you end up working really hard to kind of keep the clients that you've already got, because they're obviously postponing and rearranging, and that really became quite a full-time job for 6, 7, 8 months. It was like constantly talking to people by email or on the phone or by Skype. So it was pretty full on, actually. What about you? Did you find the same or
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, it was similar-ish. I only shot one micro wedding in the end in last October. I had one full wedding in January 2020 before COVID hit, but so I only did 2 the whole year. But yeah, you're right. It was a lot of admin, wasn't it, and dealing with postponements and things. And how have you got on with the recent announcements of things being pushed back to July 19th? Have you got weddings between now and July 19th that have any of those postponed, or are you still shooting those, or?
No, they're all decided to go ahead. So again, I am quite lucky there. I did expect, at least I was braced for some postponements and wondering what I was going to do if I couldn't do the dates, and all those kind of natural anxieties that you get as a wedding photographer right now. But being really lucky, every single one of the couples has said no, we want to get married. Even the ones that had said, well, we're not sure, maybe we still want to postpone. I think because the numbers have gone up, that is something kind of tangible that is different to the weddings that have been happening. I know pretty much the rest of it is fairly similar to the weddings that have been happening recently, but I think that has given people something to cling to, and at least they can have the people that are there, and most of them are just being so positive. They want to get married and enjoy a day with their closest family and friends. It won't be quite the same, but it's pretty nearer to a normal wedding now than it was last year. I don't know.
True.
I've seen on Facebook, you've posted a few more recent things, haven't you? So have you found that weddings are kind of heading back towards normality, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I shot my first one just 2 weeks ago, first one in ages, and that was only a small 15-person one. But now I've got 5 weddings now between now and July 19th, and like you, they're all going ahead anyway. They're actually, the feedback I got from them is actually they're all pretty relieved. They thought it could have been worse, Yeah. So so that's all good and looking a lot more positive for the year ahead. I bet you've got a busy one coming up then this year.
Yeah, I do. I won't tell you how many weddings I've got, because I think you'd probably fall off your chair. But
really? Yeah.
It's basically between now and September, I'm shooting like I don't know, enough to fill a good couple of years for someone who shoots a moderate amount of weddings, I'd say, if that makes sense.
Well, it's going to be
on this subject there, but basically
a lot
of weddings, yeah.
Well, that's cool though, because that leads me on to the next question. Because I was going to ask, under your M&G wedding photography brand, there's 4 of you in total, isn't there? Is there 3 photographers and a videographer?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's cool. And so I was going to ask, can you tell us like how that came about, creating a studio like that with like 4 of you, and B, what it's like to shoot and work with your wife, the also multi-award-winning Hollie Rosa Mateer. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, gladly. Yeah, it's good. So going back to the beginning of it, I mentioned briefly, didn't I, that I studied fine art. So I was already in, and all my work at university was based in photography, a little bit of video, but mainly based in photography.
Oh, cool.
And instead of going off and going straight into a photography career, I was actually in a band at the time. We had slight delusions of grandeur, so I went off and tried to be a rock star for a few years, and that.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about it because I saw on your site that you play guitar. So I was going to ask if you were ever in a band, but yeah, you obviously were then. What kind of music were you playing? Oh,
it was kind of like indie music, and probably about 3 or 4 years out of date. Really, we sounded a bit Britpoppy after Britpop had died. Sort of thing. So we were never going to make it. We were kind of all right, and we had a little bit of interest here and there, and cool. Kept thinking, oh, maybe we're going to do it, but it never happened. And looking back, it was never gonna happen. It was just a bit of a distraction. But
what were you called?
It kind of led to me taking my eye off being a photographer, which is kind of what I'd been building up to in education, and it's what I really loved doing. And then when a couple of years later, so I was just kind of doing like kind of odd jobs like data entry, data analysts when I was living in Leeds and trying to be a rock star very unsuccessfully.
What was the band called, by the way? What was the band called?
It was called Thief. Not a great name, Thief. Yeah.
Did you steal that from someone?
Oh dear. Oh,
boom.
That is an impressive joke.
Can we find any recordings anywhere? Is that YouTube or Spot? No, you hope not.
I've lost my track here. Sorry, feel free.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, yeah, you were saying you do like data entry jobs. Yeah.
So I'll pause slightly. I was doing these kind of menial jobs. No offense to any data enterers out there. I'm not sure that's the word. So, but not jobs that I wanted to do long term. And then after that, after a few years, I tried to get into photography. And at that point, so I had my degree, I had a lot of experience. I had an early DSLR, a Nikon D200, and I'd done a bit of work experience for some magazines like fishing magazines and sports magazines like Shoot and things like that. So I'd had a bit of work publishing things, but cool. I didn't see a route into photography through being a freelancer. I just never really. I just couldn't see that was going to work. It just felt like a really alien concept to me because I'd never really sat down and thought about how you would do it. So I was just applying to jobs to photography studios and the very cheesy white box background photography studios, and I just never got an interview. I always told myself maybe it's because I got a fine art degree rather than a photography degree, but I never got even as far as getting an interview. So I kind of drifted.
They missed out though, Patrick. All those people.
That would have been an amazing white background family photographer. They would have got some real seriously good white backgrounds from it. But yeah, so I kind of drifted and didn't take a lot of photos for a few years. And all my friends were kind of like, why aren't you into photography anymore? Because that was all they kind of knew me for in terms of through university. I was the the photographer guy, like everyone else on the art course, was doing different things, and I was doing photography. But yeah, but then, like so many people, it's kind of a cliche, isn't it? A friend asked me to shoot their wedding, and then it kind
does happen for so many people, does it? Same with me, really. It's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, and I listen to this podcast a lot, and so I kind of feel like, oh, should I mention that, because everyone that, but that is just what happens, isn't it? I think it is often a bit of an accidental career for people, that they don't set out to become a wedding photographer. You might, like me, you might be really passionate about photography, but you kind of don't imagine. I think especially back when I got into it, like in the late kind of noughties, it was still quite traditional, wasn't it? Or at least the perception was. It probably wasn't that. There was probably lots of people working in the documentary with a documentary approach and things, but it felt to me like it was very traditional.
Yeah,
sure. I wasn't really into that idea. But then I started shooting weddings, and to be honest, I absolutely hated the first few. I just
found, oh really? Yeah.
Yeah. I found it just so kind of nerve-wracking, and because I thought I had to shoot in a very traditional way. Yeah. I just didn't enjoy it at all. It didn't suit my style of photography. It didn't suit my approach, which was, I really enjoyed taking documentary photos of my friends and family. But I didn't, again, it never kind of clicked in my mind that the kind of photography that I was good at, I could just do at a wedding. I thought I had to be very posed and very staged and very formal. And I just remember that first wedding I shot just being, complete anxious wreck, and but then people liked the photos and kept asking me to do it, and slowly started to enjoy it. And at the same time, as you mentioned, the other photographers, Matt Godman, who I went to university with, he was working for a photography studio down in London, and he also started doing some weddings on the side. So we were kind of doing it at the same time, and it got to about 2013, I think, and we said, well, why don't we kind of pool our businesses together and try and do it, because before it was very kind of not particularly organized or anything like that. So we kind of brought our two businesses together, and that's why it's called M&G, so Mateer and Godman.
Ah, now I get it.
But I mean, he lives down in Hertfordshire, and I live up in Yorkshire. So in terms of SEO, we didn't know anything about SEO, so it probably wasn't the looking back, it didn't really make a lot of sense having two different bases, but we didn't think about that. We kind of thought,
but although you've got more kind of bases covered that way, though, as well.
And that's the way that we were thinking about it. We weren't thinking about SEO. We were just thinking about kind of logistics and there's a selling point kind of thing. So yeah, that's how it started. And we kind of went from there, and then meeting Hollie's, I guess, is a whole different story.
Yeah, which is good, and we've got time for all that kind of story, man. That's cool. But yeah, tell us about with Hollie now, and how long has she been in the business, and what's it like? Do you shoot most of your weddings together as a duo, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do. So yeah, no, I absolutely love working with Hollie, and that is a question we get asked quite a lot, actually. People are like, oh, I wouldn't want to work with my partner, and that kind of thing. And I think people kind of think that it would be kind of too much. But being a wedding photographer is quite a relaxed job, isn't it? It's quite a fun and creative job. So it's not like we're doing a really stressful job and doing accounts or loads of admin together. Obviously, there's that kind of side of things, but away from weddings, Hollie handles all the editing, and then I handle the business side of things and talking to clients and things and that kind of thing. So we kind of split things up there. But then on the wedding day, we work together, and yeah, love it. It's just a really relaxed, fun way of working, and hair work kind of, it sounds a bit cheesy, but hair work kind of inspires me. I can't wait to get to the end of a day and find out what she shot, and the same with her and me. So yeah, over the pandemic, she's not shot as much because people haven't necessarily wanted two photographers, particularly.
Yeah, sure.
Last year, and we've got a young family, and it's just been logistical that she's kind of not shot as many, which is a shame. She really misses it, but yeah. But to go back, I didn't answer the first part of your question. Sorry about that, Alan.
That's all right. It's great, man. It's so cool.
She started working. She started second shooting for me assisting, in 2016. She was working as a florist at the time, so she was working on weddings and things like that, but all kinds of different floristry. And at the weekends, we didn't see a lot of each other because I'd go off to shoot weddings, and she'd be working through the week. So we said, well, why don't you come and assist me at a few weddings? She'd already kind of been borrowing one of my DSLRs a lot because we'd been living together for a year or so by then. So she knew her way around the camera, it was kind of like a pressure off situation where I said, you can come along, you can assist me, and you love taking photos. And she wanted to do that. She wanted to do it a bit more. Was getting really into it, and I just said, just go around and shoot whatever you want. So that's what she did. And then kind of touch on it at the end of the day when I came back to look at the images with her. I was like, oh, these are really good. These are, and these are better than a lot of second shooters that work for me, sort of thing. And more importantly, she was like, oh, I really enjoyed that. And she ended up kind of shooting through the whole day. It wasn't a case of just assisting me and coming along to spend the day with me. She, we didn't really talk to each other that much during the day because she was off photographing things, I was off photographing things, and it just kind of happened very naturally that she was just really, really good at it. I remember one particular shot that she took at that first wedding, looking back, and the way that she photographed the confetti was just really, really, really creatively. Obviously, that's quite a standard shot, isn't it? But the way that she framed it, off center and things like that, I was like, well, this is really, there's definitely something, you're
cool.
Quite intuitive with a camera. But like I said, the most important thing was that she loved it. And then she started coming along to more weddings. And then the next year, she did 3-4 months of coming along as a second shooter, but kind of like an extra second shooter on weddings where they hadn't asked for the second shooter to be there. So it was kind of, she was just carried on learning how she wanted to take photos throughout that time. And by the end of it, she was just absolutely awesome. And it was kind of like, well, I don't need other second shooters now if Hollie wants to do this, because she's better than them. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's so cool. It's like a really romantic kind of story as well.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, no, it did. It just felt kind of all very, very natural how she got into it, kind of thing. So, and she was just, I keep saying it, but she was just so good at it. So it made sense. And then she left the job and started doing it full time in 2017. And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, not look back. That's so cool, man. You're both so talented. It's awesome. And must have very lucky couples have you both capturing their day. It's very cool. Do you never argue then at all on the day?
Not that I can think of. Not a proper argument. Obviously, couples have disagreements and bicker occasionally. But at weddings, no, it's such a fun day.
That's cool.
And we're being creative. There's nothing to really argue about at all. So no, not at all.
Oh, I don't get that goss here. I remember asking Liam and Dom, of York Place Studios that, and they never argue either. They never argue. Oh, that's good. That's good.
But you don't work with second shooters, do you?
No, I don't. No.
But I mean, you know what it's like to shoot a wedding where you get in the zone and you just really kind of get into it. You're enjoying it, and I think, and if you know that the other person that you're working with is really good and you can just trust them to go off and do whatever they want, and she knows the same thing about me, that you just kind of go with it. And then when you get to the break time, you're chatting about the day and things, and you kind of talk through any difficulties that you had, or just things that have gone well. And it's great to have that sounding board, and it's great to have, if that sounding board is your partner. I think it's even better. We talk about weddings all the time, kind of thing, away from the wedding day that we're photographing. So yeah, no, it works really well.
Oh yeah, man, I can totally hear it in your voice, and I can imagine it would be awesome to do. I just can't imagine shooting a wedding with Oni. So Oni would be just like saying, "Shoot, capture that," and even though you've got a camera, you capture it. But it's like now we've both got camera phones, and she still tells me to take photos of things, but she's got a great camera phone herself. Anyway, go off on that thing. What I was gonna say, oh yeah, do you ever use? I bet couples must quite like the idea that maybe their days being captured by a couple themselves as well. I think that's quite cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a selling point. I mean, every wedding photography business makes their brand work as a selling point, don't they? So you make your brand as a solo shooter work for you, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
So really, you just want the couple to trust however you work to work for them in the day. Really, the main selling point is the images, the visual side of things. That you've got to have that to start with, but then underpinning that is your approach to weddings. So if that's, for me and you, that's a documentary approach, isn't it? And then also the style of the photos, but again that feeds into the look of things, and then underneath that is the kind of USP that you might sell across it to prospective clients. So for us, I guess a part of that is definitely that we're a married couple, so we know what it's like to get married. We know what it's like to work with a wedding photographer. For you, I remember because I've been on your workshop back in 2016, which is awesome. The best workshop I've ever been on.
I'm not paying Patrick. I'm not paid you, though. Thank you, man.
I mean, it's the only workshop I've ever been on.
So it's also the worst workshop you've ever been on.
I guess I've not thought about it like that, but yeah, I'll make sure I'll leave you a 5-star and a 1-star review after. But yeah, so yeah, no, I remember you talking about how it works perfectly for you to shoot on your own. So that's what I'm kind of getting at. You as a wedding photographer, you've got to kind of brand yourself and make your approach and style and the business side of thing all kind of work together holistically and make sense when you're selling that to a client. But for us, yeah, we definitely talk about being a married couple, and we definitely talk about things like the couple shoot, which I guess is maybe strange to talk about on This Is Reportage.
That's all good.
It's definitely a part of the wedding day, and I'll talk to couples about how we really enjoyed going for a walk together on our wedding day and having some couple shots taken, I talk about how all those cliches about wedding days being very hectic, but it's true. You've been married yourself. It does kind of go by really quickly. So to kind of make the most of that time that you have together, and I guess because the rest of the day you're talking to your guests and your friends and family and things, aren't you? And on the couple shoot, it's a bit of time to yourselves. And the way that we shoot couple shots is as unposed as possible. So we definitely use that as a selling point to kind of say that we kind of understand what it's like on a wedding day.
That's so good, and you're so right there. It's just about everybody kind of like playing to their strengths and really expressing those strengths and the positivities of however your business is set up, isn't it? So yeah,
definitely.
That's really cool, mate. And do you and Hollie, because you've both won loads of awards, is there any kind of like friendly rivalry in the competition stakes between you both at all?
No, we sound really bland. No arguments, no rivalry. Not really. No. I mean if we win This Is Reportage Award in particular, we're just so happy for the other one, really. We both just want each other to do well, and to be recognised for our work is amazing. So no, there's no kind of like jumping around, and if one wins then the other one doesn't, and being like I won one, you didn't. No, nothing like.
No, that's good. I think that sounds you've got a very healthy relationship, man. That's good. That is good.
Well, we've been lucky to win similar kinds of awards, really. So we enter the same ones just about, really. So yeah, we just support each other. So yeah.
That's very good. Very good to hear. That's awesome. Let's change tack slightly, Patrick. Let's change tack. You said, because I read on your site, it says Patrick loves films, Indian food and playing guitar. So I was going to ask you about being in a band, but I know you've already been in a band there. But and I'll ask you about films in a second. But yeah, what is your favorite ever Indian food though?
Oh, that is a tough question. I do like most Indian food. I will eat quite hot curries and like a jalfrezi and I'm not mega hot like a fal or a vindaloo or anything like that. So I like that, or I like kind of the kebab type curries like a chicken shashlik, which is more mild, which gets served with like salad and a yogurty sauce type thing. So and spinach in curries is a big plus for me. But yeah, I really do I like food in general, and Indian food is probably my favorite. So yeah.
That's good. Good to hear. I like that. I actually coincidentally, I had a chicken jalfrezi yesterday. Actually,
oh, did you?
Yeah, which was really good. Just a local pub. Actually, I've not been out to a curry house since the pandemic. Though I really miss going out to a proper curry. Have you been out for one?
No, we haven't. I mean, right. So right now, we're still being quite cautious with things. Obviously, I'm a wedding photographer, so I'm shooting weddings and going out and loving that. But kind of our socializing, we're still being quite cautious. Hollie's in her third trimester of pregnancy, and
right, yes, congrats, guys. That's awesome, though.
Thank you. Yeah, so we've chosen to carry on being quite cautious until the baby's here. Obviously, restrictions started easing in May, and it was so close to. It was pretty much in the third trimester, so that was when you were advised to still be a little bit cautious. Our midwife said that, so we've kind of followed that on. So yeah, but I definitely miss going out for a curry as well, so I can empathise there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Has Hollie been able to be vaccinated then whilst pregnant or not, or what?
She has, yes. Yeah,
oh, cool.
She got the Pfizer, so she got the good one. So she got vaccinated like a week ago. So that's really good that she's had one shot of the vaccine before.
What about you? Have you had AstraZeneca then?
Yeah, I've got common old AstraZeneca, but yeah, still very happy to have had that. And,
me.
Hopefully, be having my second shot sooner than booked in.
Oh yeah, how do we do that? Do you have to? Can you manage your book? Because mine's booked at the second shot for like July 19th, but can we get it sooner than now?
So it depends on how old you are, I think, Alan. At the moment, I think officially you have to be. Is it 45 or older to rebook?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
But I know some people who have already had theirs, who are my age. I'm 40. Who have already had their second shots earlier. So I don't think there's any harm ringing him up and just saying, "Can I rebook my?"
Yeah, I might do that. I'm 40 as well, man. Same age.
Yeah. Well, go for it, man. It's a good age to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still feel 39 though.
Do you? Yeah, it's a crucial
Yeah, I don't think it counts. Birthday and lockdowns, they don't count though, do they? And no, I am 39, I reckon. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, Patrick, let's go, because you said you like films on your thing. So let's test you on films then.
I feel under pressure now. I wish I'd taken that off the website.
Yeah. You should have took it off like 2 days ago. Okay, so if anyone's been listening recently, for I don't know, it's probably the last 15 episodes or so, just been doing little kind of Netflix or other streaming service synopsis games. So I'm just going to read a synopsis and I'm going to see if you can get it. And so I've chosen all movies for your three because you said you're a film lover.
Yeah, okay, go for it. Have you chosen like obscure Korean films or something?
No, they're all quite semi-mainstream. But we'll see. Yeah, okay, so you're ready. Okay, cool. So the first one, okay. An American actor, Bob, lands in Tokyo for an ad film and ends up meeting Charlotte, who's left behind by her photographer husband. Gradually, the two discover a friend within each other.
Lost in Translation.
Boom, yes, straight on. Good one. Have you seen it? Yeah,
it's a great film. Yeah. I mean, I'd do well to recognise that synopsis if I hadn't seen it, Alan.
That's true.
I've not seen it, no, completely.
Oh yeah, that's so true. What a stupid question. That's true. Oh, it's a great film though, isn't it? It's great.
Yeah, it's really good. I love Bill Murray. Brilliant.
Yeah, so good. I think I've said it before on the podcast, but when we went to see it at the cinema years ago, honestly, about 20 people walked out after the first half an hour. It was really weird.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slow builder, isn't it? But
It
you know,
is.
they just obviously weren't cultured enough, Alan.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. It makes me very sad. But I get it. It's still beautiful. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Right.
Because they don't end up together, kind of
Well,
thing.
yeah, I know, but that's maybe the beauty of it, But what does he whisper to her at the end?
That I don't. I know it from the synopsis, but I don't know that answer, unfortunately. So no. I'm not sure what he says. It's one of those kind of mysteries. I guess it's going for a classic Hollywood ending, a bit like Casablanca, where they don't.
Well, I've never seen that.
Yeah. Oh, you should definitely check that out. But no, it's making me want to watch it again, to be honest.
Yeah, it's beautiful cinematography as well. It's
lovely.
And it makes me want to go to Tokyo as well.
Yeah, I would love to go there too.
Right, anyway, 1 out of 1 so far. That's good. Let's go to your second one, which is quite a bit older film. Okay. Right. In the realm of underworld, a series of incidents intertwines the lives of 2 Los Angeles mobsters, a gangster's wife, a boxer, and 2 small-time criminals.
Is that Pulp Fiction?
It is. Well, man, that's so good to get. I thought that was quite a difficult synopsis for that, actually.
Yeah, you did well there, because I started thinking, is that Heat with the 2 cops? And I was like, no. That was a well-written and sneaky synopsis there.
I found some odd synopsis. This was I don't know where that one was from, actually. It's quite difficult for some of them. Some of them are far too long. It would take me about a minute to read out. So yeah. Wow, that's good, man. I've still never watched that properly, actually.
Oh, you should definitely watch that.
Okay.
That's such a good film.
Okay, well, 2 out of 2 so far. Can you get the hat trick, man? The hat trick. Oh, a little football reference there. It's good for today. Okay, so your final one. Okay. Joel and Clementine begin a relationship post a train journey together, unaware that they had previously been in a relationship, the memories of which were clinically erased.
I'm not sure if I know this one.
Shall I give you a clue with who's in it?
Yeah, go on.
It's Kate Winslet and...
Sunset of the Spotless Mind?
Yes, boom, that's great, man. That's one.
What I thought it was, but then I don't remember it exactly. So yeah, no, another great film. You've picked 3 great films. Really
they are good, aren't they? Yeah, they're good. And you got 3 out of 3, man. That's good going.
Yeah, I needed a little help. I'd say 2.5.
Oh, I love that. It's so much fun. I don't know if people are enjoying listening to it or not, but I really enjoy doing it. So it's going to do it. Okay, man. Let's go on to some other things. Okay. I like this question. I asked this one quite a lot, but let's do it. First thing or things that comes to your mind, what makes you happy?
My family.
Oh, yeah.
Are you just looking for quick answers here, or is it?
No.
All right. Yeah. No. Just my family and just. Sorry, I didn't know whether it was going to be like a quick fire. My family and then something else.
Right, no. We could do a quick fire round if you want, but no, this is good. No, you go on. What? Yeah, talk.
No, I was still in film mode, I think. But my family, Holly, my kids, and but also work. I absolutely love my job, and they're all kind of intertwined as I've kind of touched on at length earlier. So. Because I work with Holly and we work from home, so it all feels very much kind of together, our kind of home and working life. So yeah, it just everything really is it makes me happy. But in terms of life at the moment, so yeah, it's an all-encompassing answer, but definitely family and work, and I really did miss shooting weddings last year. But like I said, got more chance to spend time with our 2-year-old as he was growing up and in those pivotal years. So I definitely felt lucky about that.
That's so true, isn't it? That is so true. I'm missing mine now since they've gone back to school more as well, actually. So yeah, that was a good thing. It's weird to say any good things from the pandemic, isn't it? Because obviously it's been such a disaster, but there have been some positive things. There have been. So
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, what do you find to be the most challenging aspect, of wedding photography to be, whether that's like, shooting wise or business or whatever? What's the most challenging bit?
Well, I think in the early days, which seem to go, when I say early days, it makes me sound very old, but those early days of running M&G wedding photography seemed to go on a long time. It took us a long time to kind of focus in on what we really wanted to do in terms of our approach to wedding photography, in terms of our style. So I definitely found that time challenging because it as I mentioned earlier, I started off as a photographer who thought that you needed to shoot things quite traditionally, and it took me a long time to kind of gradually kind of throw all of what I'd kind of taught myself about wedding photography and kind of try and forget it all.
What was it that kind of made you kind of change? Was it just like because you found like you just weren't enjoying it that much, so you just you wanted to do it, shoot more your own way, or was it just that the scene was changing at that time as well? What was it?
I think so. I looking back at my work, I did shoot things kind of with a documentary approach and naturally, but at the same time, I would still think that you had to do portraits, you had to do lots of group shots, you had to be quite involved with the couple and talking to the couple a lot during the wedding and directing them and kind of giving them a very involved planner with like shot lists and all kinds of things. So even though I kind of knew that I didn't enjoy that, I still kind of, nobody told me this, but I still subconsciously even kind of thought that is what kind of underpinned the wedding photography. Sure. But I just, like you said, I just did not enjoy it, those kind of aspects. And it took me a long, long time to kind of shed each one of those. But people kind of said, even in the early kind of days, we like your work because it feels very natural and things like that. But looking back, I did a lot of kind of posy stuff, even in like 2016, 2017. And it was only really in 2018, like 3-4 years ago, that I kind of really stopped doing that. So I was doing more and more documentary stuff, but I was still very much focused on getting perfect portraits, or what I thought would be perfect portraits, and that put a lot of pressure. That put a lot of self-made pressure on me, because at every wedding I'd be thinking, right, I need to get these perfect looking couple shots, so I need to go and take the couple out, or maybe I didn't nail it last time, let's take the couple out again, and then telling them how to stand, telling them when to kiss, telling them where to walk, and all those kind of things. And for lots of reasons, that just didn't work for me. And I know some documentary photographers who are much better at documentary photography than me still do quite posed portraits, and that works perfectly for them. That must make sense to them in their mind. But for me, it just didn't. It stopped making sense to me to have like these two kind of almost diametrically opposed approaches to wedding photography running in synergy.
That's so true.
They didn't run in synergy. I'd say, right, ignore my camera all day, and then we'd get to the portraits and be like, now I'm going to tell you where to stand. Now I'm going to tell you to kiss. Now I'm going to tell you to hold each other. And my work started to be quite repetitive. I was telling people to go into set poses. So one wedding would look pretty similar to the next in terms of couple shots.
Right, okay.
And yeah, so I guess that was the biggest challenge that I had to overcome was kind of finding a way of working that really suited my personality, really suited my strengths, which, I love talking about photography. It's great talking to you about this, but I can be a little bit shy, and I can be a little bit quiet around people who don't know, and in larger groups. And I think it really suits my personality to be quite hands off, shooting things without posing, without staging, and so that's why I still do couple shots and things, but I try and keep them as kind of natural and relaxed as possible. So I don't tell people to kiss. I don't tell people how to walk or hold each other. And, I just let people be themselves. And then some people will actually say to me, I really like that because we're expecting you to tell us to kiss. And some people just don't want to be told to have it's on command, do they? Some people just want to go for a walk with each other and have a chat. Whereas
totally.
Some people want to be quite outrageous and jump in the sea or pick each other up, spin each other around. I'm sure there are more outrageous things in the world than picking someone up. But in wedding photography terms, when someone does that, it's kind of like, oh, that's different. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I let people be themselves, and I think that was the kind of last vestiges of traditional wedding photography that I clung on to for quite a long time, and I suddenly just realised that wasn't me, and it's not what I enjoyed doing. So I hope that it all kind of makes sense. So yeah, and I know I've kind of fudged that answer a little bit because I've gone back to the past, but that definitely was the biggest challenge for me, and it took me a long time to realise that I just documentary photography is what I really love, and even if I'm doing couple shots, I want that to feel like an extension of my documentary photography. I don't want it to feel like the kind of antithesis of that, something that's completely different to it.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. I think that's so cool. It's so great you talking about that, because I think a lot of people will still feel similar. There's still a lot of vestiges of what is wedding photography supposed to be, and there's still a lot of people think you still have to do certain things. So I think it's going to be really interesting for people to hear that, you felt like that as well, and how it's alleviated a lot more pressure on you now as well, I guess, with not having to have those kind of perfect posed portraits. That must relax you a lot more with the shooting.
Yeah, definitely, because some people want that. Some people want those kind of classically romantic looking couple shots of them both together. And if you go for a walk with them, because they want that, they kind of do that. They do that. They do that automatically, and because that's who they are. But for me, like you said, it does take off a lot of pressure. I don't think about portraits anymore. I just think about shooting the day as a whole and getting the best photos throughout the whole thing, and it just all kind of makes sense in my mind. But like I said, there are lots of photographers that work, and like I said, they're much better than me at both the portraits and the documentary side, and it just has to make sense to you, doesn't it? It just has to, and then you can sell it authentically to your couples, and really, I think you can sell anything to your couples to a certain degree. They just need to trust your methods that are going to achieve the photos that you've showed them on your Instagram on your website.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. And there's a market for everyone. Yeah. And there's just no right or wrong. That's what the beautiful thing about this whole career is, that you could just do exactly what you want and what works for you. And there are going to be couples out there who love exactly what you do, exactly what you capture, your exact approach. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing about it, really.
Exactly. You've just got to enjoy it and be completely kind of happy and feel like it, to reuse that word, if it feels authentic to you what you're doing to achieve those results that you want, then do that, and your couples will trust you, and they'll trust whatever you do on their wedding day to achieve those results.
Yeah. Totally true, man. Really, really true. That was really interesting to talk about. I think that's really fab. And let's go to one of your specific images, and one of my favorite reportage awards of yours. I think it should be the cover for Oasis's Cigarettes and Alcohol single. You know the one I mean, with yeah. So for people listening, it's like a close-up shot of what appears, I think, like two ladies, one smoking and the other one, it looks like, I don't know, she's either concealing or just holding a bottle of red wine. But I love it. It's so cool, man. Can you tell us more about that shot in particular? Do you remember taking that one?
I do. Yeah. That's from a wedding that I won my first story award for. Oh, cool. So yeah. I think, and I'm not sure if that image is in the story off the top of my head, or whether it's just an individual.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I don't know.
And it was just this amazing wedding. To be honest, Alan, it was just fantastic. As a photographer who shoots like I do, you would have loved it. Any documentary wedding photographer would have absolutely loved it, because it was just so much fun. Everyone, it started off in kind of an inauspicious way. It was just a quiet getting ready and a quiet church service. There were a few emotions and a few laughs and things, and it was all very nice. But then we got to the reception, and everyone just went fucking nuts. And people were just they ran out of beer. There was, it's a classic UK wedding, really. People
they ran out of beer.
Yeah, they ran out of beer. They had to go and get more. Like they drank the bar dry, literally. And people were just having such a good time. And I'd photographed quite a few weddings for this group of friends, so everyone kind of was automatically relaxed around me, I think, and knew the way that I shot, which is just kind of walking around taking photos, really. Or that's what it appears to them. And this particular image shows one particular woman who's in another one of my individual images. I don't know if you'll remember, but the one on the dance floor where the couple are kissing.
Oh yes, yeah, with a crowd around them, and yeah. Oh, cool.
And there's the auntie there, and that's the person who's holding the wine bottle, kind of protecting it.
Yeah, it does look like she's protecting, like this is mine. This is mine.
And she's she was such a character on the wedding day, and I think I don't know about others, but you learn to kind of pick out, this is an interesting character. I'll keep an eye out for this character through the wedding day. Not necessarily consciously, but you kind of become attuned to that person's going to do interesting things. And she did just keep doing interesting things. It's like tucking a wet wine bottle and dancing like she did on the dance floor. And so she became a bit of a feature throughout the day. And that's actually a bit of an older wedding. I don't know whether it was 2018 or 2019, and it is cropped in to highlight that area. The full image shows her face and things like that. And I think you probably see that in a theme in our work. There is a lot of hands and feet. I do sometimes worry that when our clients get the images, they're like, why are there so many shots of hands and feet? But,
where's my head?
Exactly. But they see on our Instagram, they see on our website. We like a hand and a foot, but we do that because for pragmatic reasons. Sometimes the face is doing something that isn't interesting, really, or something that's not too complimentary, pulling a funny facial expression, and by honing in on a particular area of the photo, you can make something more interesting, or it's kind of more for stylistic reasons or creative reasons. And like you said, it's a bit of a play on words on cigarettes and alcohol, like I said, but also it just kind of shows what kind of wedding it was. People very relaxed, swigging out full wine bottles. You don't necessarily have to show the full scene to show that, do you? It's sometimes more interesting to just hone on one particular part of it, because instead of letting the eye kind of dart around from face to face, you're looking directly at the wine bottle, you're looking directly at the cigarette, and that's all you need to be looking at. A tight crop can sometimes work, but we started doing that, cropping into our images, and that's led to changing in the way that I'm shooting. And now, instead of looking for it in the edit, I'm now really looking for it when I'm going out shooting. It has actually changed the way I'm shooting, and I'm looking for those kind of reportage details throughout the wedding day. So I am, whereas we used to have to kind of crop to get those interesting frames, we're not doing that so much anymore. It's kind of in the raw image.
That's so cool, man. Oh, I loved hearing about that. That is so cool. Really great. Yeah, fab. And it's such a great, strong graphic image as well. That I think it's so cool. Yeah, it just typifies a fun, relaxed wedding, as you say. It's awesome.
I think when you kind of frame an image or crop it like that, it does get it down to graphical elements, or you can kind of make a more abstract image, can't you? As soon as you take out space. Anyway.
I love that, but I think it's so cool. I think cropping is such a powerful thing, though, as well. It's such a powerful thing.
Oh, definitely. I was judging another wedding photography contest awards. Sorry,
that's okay.
Awards are available recently, and that's what I was thinking. You've probably been judged before. You went and started your own awards, so yeah, you've probably been a judge many times yourself. But just a good crop or a good frame, you don't necessarily know whether it's been shot in camera that way or not. It really can make the difference, can't it? And especially if it's a simple moment, kind of crop in, lose the arbitrary elements around, concentrate on what's really strong about that moment. Lose the other stuff, and then the eye can't go to other parts of the scene. It really does just go to the funny moment or the emotional moment. And like you said, it's a really powerful tool to use, isn't it?
It really is. Honestly, it really is. I think that's my biggest tip in terms of awards in general, is to crop. It's crop, and it's something that's totally in your control, like after the fact as well. So yeah,
I would agree. Anything that can make your image stand out as a thumbnail, because especially with your awards, the awards that I was judging was great, but your awards has got like 12,000 images. That you have to go through, and a lot of the time, I imagine that judges, having spoken to other judges, are looking at things, thumbnails to begin with, and it has to be something to really catch their eye to get them to even look at it properly. So yeah, you've got to do everything in your control with the edit to make it stand out and to help you get an award.
So true. Yeah, so true. And I was going to ask you about awards in general as well. So, as well as winning 11 Reportage Awards and 2 Story Awards from us, which is amazing, by the way, man. I mean, that's so proper awesome. You've also won lots of awards from other bodies and associations. And so I was just going to ask, what is it for you personally that keeps you entering awards? What is it for you?
Well, through the pandemic, it was something to do.
Yeah, that's important.
It was like entering any awards that we could find because we weren't shooting anything. No, I am being facetious there. But I think that there's lots of there's a myriad of reasons. So I'll try and keep it brief. But in terms of marketing, it's a strong tool to use. Totally. People often, existing clients, new clients will say, "Oh, I saw that award you won. That's amazing." They don't necessarily know what the awarding body is, do they?
Sure.
It can sound impressive to them, and it can really make you stand out. But and it's just kind of so it's not really about positive affirmation for us. That's a really handy tool and for SEO, but it is nice to get that positive affirmation, of course. But as long as it doesn't overtake the kind of why you've taken the image in the first place, which is for the couple and for yourself to make interesting images. But then also you've got other reasons why awards are important to me personally, and that's about the challenge and trying to get better and kind of widening your horizons. Because I will admit that before I joined This Is Reportage, when did you start? Was it 2017, 2018?
Yeah, end of 2017. Yeah, November 2017.
I remember. So before that, Hollie and I had quite a parochial view of wedding photography. So we knew about you, and we knew about like other big photographers. Big, I know it's not a great word, but well-known, impressive photographers in our local area, like Andy Gaines and things like that. But we didn't. The wedding photographers that we knew about were really the ones that we'd got to know on the local scene. We really didn't know about international wedding photographers, and maybe it's probably our own fault for not looking outwards. But joining This Is Reportage really did kind of widen our view of wedding photography, and it went from being like, oh, are we one of the kind of well-known photographers in Hull and Yorkshire, to suddenly realizing, wow, there's thousands of wedding photographers out there that are so good, that are so much better than us, and that are really inspiring. And so that was a big part of it. And we've kind of, as things have gone on, we've got to know quite a few people through This Is Reportage and through other awards as well, but mainly through This Is Reportage. I think there is if you don't mind me saying, like the group isn't that lively, is it, for This Is Reportage on the Facebook group?
Oh, not in the Facebook group, no.
You post on there and things like that, but beneath that, I don't know if you're aware of this, people talk about This Is Reportage, and people, when the results come out, people, other photographers will message us, or we'll message other photographers. If we don't message someone will, if we won an award, someone will message us. If someone has won an award, and what, everyone's really, and that doesn't really tend to happen with other awards.
That's really cool.
It's like people have, because it's such a kind of well-honed brand for This Is Reportage. It's quite simple, isn't it? It's no staging, no posing, and
yeah.
So if you like that kind of photography, you're going to find lots of like-minded people within that. Whereas other awards tend to have different elements kind of contained within them. So yeah, it's led to us I think it's led to us getting better. I think but still, I still look at This Is Reportage, and there's so much amazing work out there that really inspires us, and we definitely don't feel like we're anywhere near the finished article. So it carries on making us challenge ourselves to continue getting better, and it's led to us forming friendships with quite a few like-minded kind of documentary photographers, which is great.
Oh, that's really cool, man. That is so cool to hear. And it's so cool to hear, because it's everyone's just personal opinions, on what kind of awards do for them. And I understand awards are not for everyone as well, totally. Yeah. And I'm not here to sell people that. I just find it really interesting. And yeah, for me as well, I know they were a major thing in terms of marketing as well. I still, when clients book me now or they inquire, a lot of them, they're saying they found me because of awards or like top lists or whatnot. So it really works in that way. But I love the way you've talked about the community side of it as well. And yeah, when I started Reportage, just seeing all these fantastic, amazing photographers all around the world, it's mental. And then it's been so good to have the Christmas parties. I know you've not been to one yet. Hopefully this year, man. But it's just so nice to have. Yeah. It's so nice to have everyone kind of together and just physically just talking and drinking and having that actual physicality is just so cool.
Yeah, of course. I did forget about that when I was talking about the community side of it. But yeah, no, we were due to come last year, but then we couldn't at the last moment because of our babysitter, who was babysitting for the day. My parents, one of them was ill, so we couldn't come right at the last minute. So we were gutted about that. But yeah, we will definitely make it. If not this year, definitely next year. So, but hopefully you can have one this year, and it'll be.
I know. That's the thing. Fingers crossed. I really hope so, man. I really hope so. So I missed it last year. I missed it. It's a lot of fun. Although I end up not remembering that much about them, but I think that's a good thing, probably, because that means I'm having a good time. But I always have the photos.
yeah, definitely.
Patrick, let's change tack again slightly. This is a question that I ask, and it never really goes down very well. But I'm gonna persevere. Okay. Okay. What's something that you really love, but that most people seem to hate? It's just a stupid question, isn't it?
This question, I'm a big fan of this question, and no one else likes it. No, Alan, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I must have heard you ask this question so many times, and I haven't prepared.
Or you can flip it if it's easier. What's something that you really hate, but that most people seem to love?
Oh. I'm struggling, man. I'm sorry.
No, I can't think of myself actually, though, as well. I don't know. Although I guess I love Dawson's Creek, and a lot of people seem to hate Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's. At university, I had a flatmate who absolutely loved Dawson's Creek, but I'm with the majority that I'm not a big fan of Dawson's Creek.
Really?
What is it about Dawson's Creek that you?
Oh, it's just so romantic, man. It's like it's not real life at all, but I love that. It's just so romantic in all aspects, not just the kind of relationship level, but just that kind of view of life. And I just found it beautiful.
Wasn't he quite judgmental?
Dawson himself, I guess he had issues. He wasn't perfect, but there are a big roster of characters.
Someone would have a drink and then they'd just fall off a pier and die or something like that.
I don't think it was ever that. Maybe if they remade it now, that would happen. But it was very gentle. It was very gentle. I remember I lived on a canal boat for a while. I lived on a canal boat for a while with my parents, and I used to I had to tell them to stop like cruising for a bit just so I could get the reception for the telly for Dawson's Creek. Yeah, those are funny times. Let's do a different question then. Anyway, okay, what are you afraid of, Patrick?
What am I afraid of? I'm not a big fan of heights. I will admit I'm not a big fan of heights at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
do you ever have to go up like really high to do that big? Do you ever do the group shot of like everyone? Like hang out of a third floor window or something?
Yeah. I mean, I do gently try and dissuade people from having a big group shot in without telling them what to do. I would try and educate them about that. Might take a long time to organise, and if they're wanting lots of natural photos that they book me to take, if we're waiting 15 minutes for the cousin to get back from the toilets to take a big group shot, he can. So not every wedding takes one piece.
True.
But if someone wants a big group shot, I'm there to take it. If someone wants anything at the wedding, really, in photography terms, anyway, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to oblige. So if they want something more posed or whatever, I'm happy to do it. But so yeah, I do them, and I've been up in what do you call them, cherry pickers and things like that.
Have you? Oh, that's cool. Were you scared though then?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It was terrifying. So yeah, it feels like you're very high up. So yeah, no, it definitely heights. It's an obvious one, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of heights at all.
Okay, cool. I get that though. Yeah, I get that. I'm talking to the group shot of everyone. I had to do one at Eden Project a couple of years ago. Have you been to Eden Project in Cornwall?
I've not. No.
Okay.
Not.
Do you know those big biome though things? You've probably seen a picture of it. Yeah, cool. And they wanted me to go right. There are these just like kind of like engineering, like technical stairs right at the top where the public are not allowed to go on. They're just for like the people who work there. And they're like these see-through stairs type things as well. And literally, this is like so high. That was like I was literally shaking taking that shot. Oh, horrible.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to be there, but yeah, no, it looks like an amazing venue though.
It's cool. Yeah, it's lucky to be in Cornwall as well, because it's kind of like having an outside wedding inside as well. It's it is cool. Patrick, I've just checked down. It's like we're over an hour. I'm like, it's just gone really quick, man, because it's just so lovely and easy to talk to you. It's so cool. So I've just got time for one more question. That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, go for it.
And this doesn't have to be a quick answer. I'm not rushing you. So this is quite a big question. But I think people would love to hear this from you. So yeah, what would be your top tips, Patrick, to help someone become better at the documentary side specifically of what we do? What would be your main bits of advice?
So my tips around getting better at documentary photography is really it's all about watching. As I touched on earlier, you start to kind of read a wedding. So that can be in terms of specific people, specific groups of people that that might be doing kind of interesting out of the box things throughout the wedding day. So it's kind of you start to be a bit more intuitive about where you need to be standing, where you need to be at a certain time, but also it's about waiting, so composing an image. So if you see a child playing in nice light or doing something that you think is going to progress to doing something quite interesting, you just need to stand and wait and compose the image. But other times it really is just about being ready to go with the flow, and sometimes things are over in the flash of a second, aren't they? So you've got to kind of be ready for all different kinds of moments. That some are really fleeting, whereas some kind of progress and get better as they happen. So just carry on shooting, be prepared, kind of start to read a wedding in terms of where to stand and who to photograph, and yeah, just step back and watch. I think that is a big thing about it. But carry on shooting. Have your eyepiece to your eye, so you're not stopping too much to look around, because then you can miss a moment as it's happened, can't you? So
that's so true.
I know that you shoot a lot, and I think everyone does these days, particularly on mirrorless cameras. So just carry on shooting and try and read a wedding as it's happening.
Man, that's all really great advice. It really is. That's awesome. Really cool.
I'm not sure, Alan.
No, it is, man. It's really good. It's really good. Really good. This whole hour of talking to you has been so good, man. So good. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
I've really enjoyed it too. I really have. But yeah, no, it's been lovely catching up with you, man. It's been a long time, and yeah,
it was 2016. Really, 2016?
Yeah. No, that was was a big thing for me going off to do your workshop in London. And like you said, you haven't paid me, but it was. I was joking before, but it really was. It was kind of an important part of my development, I think. Because before I went along to that, I was kind of developing my own approach and style and things. But to see someone kind of at the top of their game talking about a very kind of simplified way of working, and I don't mean that with any disrespect, not a simple way, but a simplified way, the way that you approach things with your lens choice and your camera choice and your settings and things like that. You gave yourself the best possible way of just concentrating on being creative, because all of the kind of things like what kind of lens you were going to use a particular part of the day was already pre-made, wasn't it? And the setting you were going to use and everything like that. And I'd never really considered that. I was at that point, I was probably running around thinking, shall I put this lens on? Shall I put that lens on? And I was worrying about all that kind of thing. And as soon as you start doing that, like going back to my other point about documentary photography, you take your eye off the wedding, don't you? You stop thinking about what you're shooting. So I think everyone needs a particular method that suits them. And then once you've got that sorted, you can really concentrate on being creative.
No, I totally agree. And you, thank you. Very kind you saying those words. That's lovely, man. Lovely. And I can't believe we've not seen you since then, though. That's like, man, it's lovely we've stayed in touch, though. And it's lovely now to be able to talk on this. And now hundreds of people are going to listen to our conversation as well. Our first conversation since 2016 as well. That's bizarre.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, do you get stats on how many make it through to the end?
Yeah, that's true. I need to look at that. I've not really looked at like the percentage that make it. I'm sure yours is going to be 110% though, man.
No, I reckon it'll just be my mum. Even Hollie will probably have switched off by now.
Yeah, she listened to the first 5 minutes and heard her name, and then she's off.
yeah. I've had my mention. I'll go now. But yeah. But no, it's been really lovely. Thank you, man.
Oh man, no, thank you. Oh no. It's an honor for me to have you on here, man. Thank you. I really, really enjoyed it. And as I say, anyone listening now, do head to thisreportage.com or thisreportagefamily.com and be able to, I'll put that Reportage Awards that Patrick spoke about, the Cigarettes and Alcohol one, and link to your website as well. And man, and hopefully, we'll do the Christmas party, but you've got a new arrival coming along. It might be difficult for you this year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I said this year or next. So yeah, definitely next year we'll be coming along. Hopefully this year, but if not, next year. And it will be great to see you and everyone, because like you said, it's a great community. So it'd be great to come along.
Yeah, I can't wait. It'd be cool. You should come to Doc Day, by the way, as well. You'd love that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I was on the page to get Hollie and me tickets, and then I thought, because it's like is it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I just don't know. I should know that.
I thought I'd double check that we were at a wedding, and then we're at a wedding the next day, and it's just
no.
So, yeah, but we were literally going to buy tickets. So yeah, it's but we definitely would like to come along to that one day too.
Yeah, maybe next year. Awesome, man. Cool, man. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be in touch.
Yeah, cool. Thanks so much, Alan.
Bye, man. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to the 82nd episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. It was so fab to be able to talk to Patrick. Hope you enjoyed listening in. Head to thisisreportage.com or thisreportagefamily.com for a link to his website and to see the specific Reportage Award he talked about too. We have lots more episodes of the podcast available where we speak to family and wedding photographers from all over the world, delve into our back catalogue to hear from the likes of Marika Zwart-Scholten, Adam Johnson, Stephen Hershaft, Ralu Chase, Ninka Kudijk, Christian Levin, Dominique and Liam Shaw of York Place Studios, Alex Kuss, Jill Streefland, Sitlali Rico, and many more too. If you're not yet a member of this Reportage or this Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. Submissions are open now for our next award collections. The deadline is the same for both our wedding site and our family site. Submit by 23:59 BST on 24th of July 2021. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.